Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my update in my Operation Get My Body Back series, and we have only got 2 weeks left, so we are actually really nearly done. I will not have many more updates for you guys, so we are going to jump straight in. I will try and keep this video a little bit shorter. I always say that, but I will try and keep this video shorter than they usually are, because I don't have much to update you guys on. So let's begin. Okay guys, so the big thing that I want to talk to you guys about is food. As I said in my last video, I have decreased my calories again, so if you want info on that, just watch the episode before this one. And guys, I feel hungry. Like, I have been feeling so hungry just from, even though I've only dropped each day by 200 calories, like, it's amazing what a difference those calories make. And literally, like, especially on my lower days, because 1,800 calories is not a lot of food for me, especially when you consider that my maintenance is a lot higher than that. So it's not a lot of food, and I have just been feeling hungry. Like, I dreaded my low days at the minute, because whenever I have them, I literally have to try and really think about what food I'm eating. I do, on my lower days, try and fast for as long as possible, and I will at some point do another video about fasting, when it should be used, etc. But it is something that I have been doing, particularly on my low days, just so that I'm not getting to the end of the day and don't have any food, or have to have my meals really spread out. I personally prefer to have a nice big meal in the evening. That's when I like to eat most of my food. I'm not too bothered about like breakfast or eating straight away, so I probably have my first meal around 1 till 2, like anywhere within that period, and that just means I've not eaten all morning, and then that's when I have my first meal. And then from there I'll then probably have like another snack, or like a smaller-ish meal between 4 and 5, and then our evening meal about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like, that's just how I've personally been preferring to do it, rather than either having those 3 meals really spread out or having to have a smaller meal at dinner time. That's just what works for me personally, so that's what I've been doing. And guys, I was doing that before, but now it is really helping to make a difference. Like, that, I do like fasting, I enjoy doing that anyway, so I've always kind of done it on my lower days, or done it here and there, but it's really made a difference. Now I have dropped my calories down again, just to help me not feel as hungry. And I think, obviously guys, part of it is mind games as well. Like, I know I'm on lower calories, I know I'm not eating a lot of food on those days, and it's almost like my body says, I'm so hungry today. So just like prolonging that time of not eating in the morning has really made a difference, because then I still feel, when I am eating, like I'm getting a lot of food, and I don't feel, once I've started having that meal at like between 1 or 2, then I don't feel like I'm having to wait ages to get to my dinner, because then I've got enough calories to have like a snack or a smaller meal in between. And then obviously I'm still getting a nice big dinner, because like I said, that's when I prefer to eat most of my food. So I don't feel like I'm having to restrict there. It is just getting rid of my breakfast, or having my breakfast later on. Then I am feeling a lot better for it. So that is what I have been doing on my low days to try and help with that. But just generally, guys, I have been feeling hungrier, and it has been harder. Like I said, I've always been doing my fasting, especially on my lower days, but now I have really noticed how much hungrier I feel in the morning. Yeah, I can definitely tell. Been feeling hungrier, and I don't feel like I'm eating enough food. Which some of it is, your head does obviously play games with you as well, but I have been feeling a lot hungrier. So that is the main thing that I'm going to say to you guys, and this is why as well, guys, for me it was very important to not drop my food or my calories down for as long as possible, because I knew that this would happen. For me, I've only got to deal with this for 4 weeks, so I've done 2 and I've only got 2 more on my lower calories, and then I'll be bringing it back up to maintenance. So that's perfectly manageable for me. But if I'd have had to have done 12 weeks on these calories, I would have started to feel very hungry, and I would have hated it. So that's why for me, and even for you guys at home, like, don't drop your food if you can help it, because when you drop it, you can't then bring it back up to keep your weight loss going. You're going to have to keep dropping it, and you don't want to get into that trap of just having to constantly drop your food in order to see results on the scale. So I am so glad that I waited 12 weeks before dropping my calories again, because 4 weeks I can manage that just fine. Any longer than that, then I would not be happy, because I really, really like my food. And guys, another thing really quickly with your food is, now I have dropped my calories down and I am feeling hungry, this is where I do have to have a lot more self-control than I have before, because when I wasn't feeling hungry it was fine, I just hit my calories, bam, done. I felt like it was eating plenty and I felt absolutely fine. Now I've dropped them down again and I am feeling hungry, this is where I have to have that self-control of going, no, I'm not going to eat anything that I'm craving, or no, I'm not going to, you know, go over on my calories. I have to be firm with myself and, you know, have self-control to not just go and eat something just because I'm hungry, because that's where you can end up eating, and you might just think, oh, it's just 100 or 200 extra calories, but that is the difference in, you know, how long you end up having to diet for and how long you've got to be in that deficit for. So if you've got set yourself a goal, and that's why it is important to, you know, pick a time period and say, right, this is how long I'm going for, because then you know, right, it's just for a set amount of time, it's not forever. You're not going to be eating and feeling this way, feeling so hungry for absolutely ages. Like for me, it's just 4 weeks and I can deal with that, and I have just got to 4 weeks have that self-control of not eating whenever I feel hungry. It is putting my calories into my MyFitnessPal, because that's what I use, and then just sticking to that, whether I feel hungry or not, sticking to it. And that is the hard part, guys, because when you feel hungry, it's your instinct just to go and eat. Even if it's something healthy, it's still your instinct to go and eat. And even though, like I said, it might just be a few 100 calories, you know, 100 calories one day and then 150 calories another day, it still all adds up and it will make a difference with your progress and with your weight loss. So this is where you've really got to dig in and keep that self-control to not just start going crazy, or even just having a little bit here and there, because it will make a difference. So that is something that is really, really important. Bear that in mind, that now you're getting towards the end, it is going to be harder, but you just need to keep sticking with it, because you don't want to stump your progress. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but you don't want to stop your progress now. You still want to keep your progress going. So even though you're feeling hungry, have that self-control and don't eat just because you feel hungry. Stick to your calories that you've set yourself, and you'll keep seeing the results that you want. So then this morning I did have a new low weigh-in, so I am back roughly to dropping about ½ kilogram each week, which is kind of what I've been doing throughout this series, but it was starting to slow down, which is why I did obviously drop my calories, which I explained in my last video, and that's kind of come back. So I have gone back to losing roughly ½ kilogram each week, which should mean that by the end of this series, so in 2 weeks, that I am around 60 kilograms, which I've told you guys before is roughly where I wanted to get to. So I'm kind of happy that that's kind of how it has worked out, and that should be roughly where I'm sitting at. And guys, I do just feel better having lost most of the weight that I wanted to. I do feel more confident, I do feel better, my clothes are fitting better, I just generally feel better, I'm happier with how I'm looking, and so yeah, I'm feeling really good. I can fit back, for example this top, I can fit back in clothes that I could fit into before I was pregnant. I don't have to wear all my baggy tops anymore, I can wear some tighter fitting stuff. So I am feeling a lot better. I am happy with where my weight is going, and how I am looking. Obviously my body composition is still completely different to how it was before I was pregnant, but I will just obviously continue to keep working on that. But in terms of the extra body fat that I was carrying, I do feel good about where we are getting to. So I am happy with how we are going. Next week I will do a full physique update, measurements, weight, the lot, so that we can compare to week 1 or the beginning of this series, and we can see fully how I've got on. But even without doing all of those things, I am really happy with how I've been getting on. And then guys, very quickly, in terms of training, I have still been training 4 times a week. I did have a deload on the weekend, so I didn't train because I was visiting my family, but apart from that, I've still been going 4 times a week and doing my training sessions. That is something that I would very quickly like to touch on with you guys. I have noticed that I don't recover as quickly after the gym, so I feel achy for longer or more achy than I used to before, and that's perfectly normal. That's kind of to be expected when you are in a deficit, because obviously you're not getting as much food to help with your recovery. I am making sure that I'm still keeping my protein high and eating plenty of protein to help with my recovery, but I have definitely noticed that I'm not recovering as quickly, and I just generally feel more achy after my workouts. And I also have noticed that I definitely don't feel as strong in the gym. Now my weights haven't gone down, I'm not lifting any less, but I do feel weaker when I'm lifting weights. Like, it feels harder, the same weights feel harder than they did before. And also I've noticed that throughout my session I'm getting tired quicker than I did before, and again that's just because I'm not eating as much food, so I've not got as much energy. So my sessions have been feeling harder recently, and I know they're definitely going to start feeling harder the next couple of weeks as well, but I have been still going. I've still been doing everything that I would do normally, still been progressing my weights. So I am feeling really good in terms of my workout. And then I have also been going and doing my 5th day in the gym, where I go on the Stairmaster and do some abs. I've been doing about 15 minutes on the Stairmaster, or it might be 16 minutes. I do 1,000 steps on the Stairmaster, not holding on, and then I follow that with some abs. So I've been doing all of that as well. After my weight sessions, I've still been going and doing about 8 minutes on the Stairmaster after those as well. So I've still been doing everything the same. I've also still been doing my steps. Like I said to you in my last video, I've not increased my steps. I'm aiming anywhere between 10 to 12,000 steps a day. Not really tracking it as closely as I was before. As long as I'm within that range, that is basically where I'm aiming for each day. And that's really easy for me to hit. That's just going out and making sure that I get out of the flat and go on a walk. So I can hit that no problem, and I've been making sure that I've been hitting that. So in terms of exercise, everything is pretty much the same, and that is pretty much everything. I'm feeling really good. I'm really happy with the progress I'm making, and I am excited to do my full update, obviously, for you guys next week, which will be the end of this series. Although I think I will then do another video after that, just explaining to you guys about finding my maintenance after I have finished with this diet. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.